Hey guys, hopefully you're enjoying these videos. This week we're gonna be talking about canine influenza. It seems to be in the media a lot lately, as well as demystifying some of the concerns around leashes and harnesses and collars and all those other things. Hopefully you're keeping up with our January challenge, where you have the entire month to teach your dog that one trick you've always been wanting to teach them. Let us know how that's going in the comments below, but let's get right into the rest of the video. Let's talk about canine influenza, also known as dog flu. Been in the media lately. I've seen a lot on social media in the past week or two. I'm really not quite sure why it's popping back up. First off, there's no outbreaks anywhere. We haven't seen any cases here at the dog stop. I just checked with the other dog stop locations. They haven't heard of any cases either. So really there's no cause to be alarmed. But even if there were, quite frankly, it's no different than you and I getting the flu. You might feel crummy for a couple of days, but all in all, you're gonna bounce back to your normal self. Let's talk a little bit about the flu itself. It's been on and off for the past decade plus, but for the most part, hasn't really been a huge cause of issue. Now, the dogs you do have to worry about are dogs that have a compromised immune system, whether it's the younger dogs, older dogs, or dogs with some sort of immune deficiency syndrome. The symptoms are sneezing, coughing, malaise, loss of appetite, and of course lethargy. So if you see any of those pop up, your dog's not drinking, definitely take them to the vet. So let's talk about some preventatives. First, there is an influenza vaccination for your dog out there, but just like the flu vaccination for you and I, it doesn't cover all the strains and it's not 100% effective. So that's definitely a discussion to have with your veterinarian. Some other things, of course, make sure they have constant, clean, fresh water. Here at the dog stop, we change out the water buckets frequently, usually every 15 minutes or so, in all the different play rooms. We disinfect the rooms every single night. We obviously make sure all the kennels are completely disinfected and cleaned, and we monitor the dogs very closely for any changes in their status. So if we notice they're hacking, coughing, a little bit of a runny nose, not really feeling well, of course we immediately let the owner know and take the proper precautions for that. So just as your kid catching a cold or the flu at school, unfortunately your pup may catch the flu or a cold here at daycare or boarding. It's really no different than your child getting sick at school. So the best thing is be proactive about it. Make sure your dog is up to date on all the vaccination records. I'm also a huge proponent of making sure that your dogs interact with other dogs. If they're only around dogs once every year or so, they are definitely going to get sick. They have not built up that immune system to it. Most of our frequent customers, as well as myself, who brings my dogs here every single day, we can all attest that our dogs rarely get sick. Just like with kids, the more they're around it, the more their immune system is going to get built up and the more healthier they're going to be in the long run. If you have any questions about that, please feel free to call us, email us, reach out in any way, or reach out to your veterinarian and get their perspective on things. All right guys, so today we're gonna demystify collars, leashes, harnesses. For most people, a standard collar is more than sufficient. Dogs that don't pull a lot, dogs that maybe aren't regularly taken out on long walks or hikes or anything like that, a normal standard collar works just well. Now with that, one of the issues with standard collars are if your dog has a very wider neck that is basically the same width as their head, they can easily slide out of that collar. One of the items we have to help mitigate that is what's called a martingale style collar. A collar that slips over the head and the attachment point tightens up if they try to slip out of it. It's not a corrective collar, it's not a choke collar, it's not a pinch collar or anything like that. So basically all it does is minimize the dog and keep them from slipping out of the collar and then escaping from your control. Moving on to harnesses. A lot of people ask, should I get a harness or a collar? My opinion is absolutely get a harness. They're always better. They're safer. Your dog is not going to be able to slip out of them as long as it's properly fitted, and just much more comfortable for the dog all around. The downside is the harness is not something you're going to leave on them 24/7 like many people do with collars. So we have two styles of harnesses that we recommend. One is a no-pull harness or an easy walk harness. If you have a very strong dog that just basically pulls you down the street while you're walking them, then you definitely want to get something like a no-pull harness. It cinches up in the front, redirects them back in towards you as they try to pull away from you. Another style harness is your everyday harness. Very simple, it just clips right on. You have two attachment points. It's a very, very comfortable harness for the dog, easy to get on and off. The downside of this though is it does not prevent them from pulling or try to redirect them. So if you have a dog that walks very good on the leash, but you don't want to mess with the collar or possibly them pulling on it and choking, I definitely recommend a front range harness. Let's talk real quickly about leashes. For the most part, a leash is a leash is a leash, but there is one leash in particular that we really, really like and we recommend a lot, and that is this bungee style leash here. And what this allows you to do, you clip your dog on. If they start to pull away from you, it gives them a little bit of leeway, but at the same time, they're not pulling your arm out. It works out very well. I use this on my dogs that pull me all the time, and it's just a nice, good compromise between always trying to pull them back into you and them trying to pull away from you. Another great thing about this leash is this is completely adjustable so that it fits around your waist in case you want to do like a hands-free type motion. So say you're out somewhere in a public setting at a festival or a fair and you just want to socialize but have your dog near you, you can simply put this around your waist. It has a little bit of a bungee tether to it, and that will give the dog a little bit of freedom, but at the same time give you a lot of freedom so you're not constantly just playing this tug-of-war action with your dog. Definitely recommend these leashes. They're great leashes. Hey guys, hope you found that very informative. I know it can be very overwhelming and daunting at times, all the mass amounts of information out there concerning your dog. So if you ever have any questions, please ask us. We would love to help you out. Love to give you any type of information that we can offer to you. And of course, reach out to your veterinarians, especially about that dog flu that's floating out there. So as always, thank you so much for watching these. If you have any type of questions, comments, please leave them below. If you have any recommendations for future videos, let us know. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much.